Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Beyond Crazy. An FBI informant turned serial killer, Scott Kimball. The situation revolving around serial killer Scott Kimball might look like a deadly blunder by the FBI. And honestly, it kind of was. Or it could have been Kimball's wits that allowed him to go on his killing spree, earning his nickname Hannibal Lecter. Kimball had been sitting in prison until 2002 on unrelated charges when he leveraged some information passed on by his cellmate into a career as an FBI informant, according to Express Digest. He was released from prison to help with a drug investigation, and no one suspected he'd used his freedom to commit a string of serial murders. In 2006, as noted by the Mercury News, Kimball was arrested after a car chase turned standoff for check fraud. Shortly after, the killer pleaded guilty to 4 murders and has since been linked to others. In all, it's believed Kimball may have killed around 20 people using the name Hannibal to initiate relationships with at least one of his victims. In what very well may have been an attempt to live up to his moniker, the killer plotted an escape from prison that was supposed to turn into yet another murder in 2017, according to the Denver Post, but was found out before he could execute his plan. The Union County serial killer Scott Wilson Williams. Scott Wilson Williams, the Union County serial killer, selected his victims from what authorities, according to the Winston-Salem Journal, call a high-risk lifestyle, of which Williams was believed to be part of himself. To give you an idea of what that means, between Williams's 3 known victims, they'd shared 2 drug convictions and 1 charge of prostitution. The killer operated in Union County, NC, from where his not-so-creative nickname stems, and has been convicted of 3 murders that took place in 1997, 2004, and 2006. The bodies of his victims were each found shot, mutilated, and dumped near rural roads. When investigators searched Williams's home after his arrest in March 2006, they discovered a collection of handguns and implements that under less serial killer-related circumstances would usually be found in a BDSM dungeon. The murderer was found guilty in 2008 of killing each of his 3 victims, and he earned 1 life sentence for each, but not until after revealing some other gruesome facts about the murders. The Charlotte Observer recounts Williams's confession to cooking the flesh of one of his victims with the intention of turning it into a cannibalistic delight, only to find the smell of the meal put him off. The baseline killer Mark Godu. The baseline killer Mark Godu was one of the most prolific serial killers of the 2000s in the timeline laid out by Arizona Republic. Not only are the killer's 9 confirmed murders present, but also a whole list of crimes that are nearly as terrible. Along with murder, Godu committed several armed robberies and sexual assaults of both adults and minors. Godu used a gun in a serial shooter style to pull off his crimes, which, as you learn, made Phoenix eras a confusing place. At the same time, the baseline killer was wreaking havoc on the community. The serial shooter, Dale Hosner, was killing in the Phoenix area as well. According to AZ Central, Hosner was convicted of killing 6 victims along with 72 other charges in 2009 and sentenced to 6 counts of the death penalty. This killer had a thing for shooting. Not only did he murder humans, the serial shooter is suspected of killing at least 1 dog and several horses. Hosner never made it into the metaphorical electric chair, but instead killed himself while waiting on death row. Godu was also sentenced to death after being convicted of what Tucson.com points out were 67 felony charges, 9 of which were murders. He tried to appeal the sentence in 2016, but the 9 death sentences were upheld. The Hollywood Ripper Michael Gargiulo. The Hollywood Ripper Michael Gargiulo was arrested in 2008 for 3 stabbing in Los Angeles, only 2 resulting in death. But according to ABC, he is suspected of at least 1 more killing in Illinois. The trial, being that the killings happened in Los Angeles, received a fair amount of media attention. Not so much because of who the killer was, but because one of his victims was killed shortly before she was supposed to go on a date with Ashton Kutcher, who testified during the trial. Gargiulo was convicted of his California-based crimes in 2019. Now, the low number of killings might make it difficult to believe that Gargiulo was a serial killer, but serial killing is all about the process. For years, as authorities relate to CBS, Gargiulo stalked his victims and plotted the perfect time to attack the women who lived within a few hundred feet from his home. The one surviving victim detailed Gargiulo's attack during the trial found via ABC, saying she awoke to the killer straddling her in her bed and stabbing her repeatedly with a serrated knife. Luckily, the killer, along with the rest of the serial murderers captured in the 2000s, won't be seeing freedom anytime soon. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it, hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.